Guys, now let's go on with the social first lesson in state board relief features of India. Like this is a lesson that's very confusing for me. I think that a few other people may also find it confusing. That's why I bought this video. Now let's see. The relief features of India mainly consist of the Himalayas, plains, peninsular plateau, eastern and western Ghats, the Thar desert, coastal plains and islands. Now let's go on with the Himalayas. The Himalayas run the Himalayas in the form of a arch run about a distance of about 2400 kilometers. The width differs from 500 kilometers western regions to 200 kilometers in central and eastern regions. So like they are saying like the Himalayas like they'll be in a arc in the top of the in top of India. They'll be in a arc manner from the western regions to the central and eastern regions. Is broader in western regions. There are altitudinal variations across the regions. The Himalayas comprise three parallel ranges. These ranges are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. Like there are three ranges in Himalayas. That is, one is a Great Himalayas, one is a smaller Himalayas, and one was a middle Himalayas. Now, middle or lower Himalayas. The mountain range which runs parallel between Shivaliks in the south and Great Himalayas in north is classified as the middle Himalayas, sometimes also called Himachal or lower Himalayas. It has an intricate system of ranges which are about 60 to 80 kilometers wide, having elevation varying from 3500 to 4500 meters above sea level. Many peaks are more than 5050 meters above sea level and covered with snow throughout the year. Like they are saying that like the middle Himalayas are about 60 to 80 kilometers wide and the width is between 3.5 kilometers to 4.5 kilometers above sea level. Many peaks are more than 5050 meters. Okay. Now let's go on with a few important ranges of middle Himalayas, which is P Panchal range, middle Himalayas. One is P Panchal, comma D Dahola Dar, Mussoorie, and the Mahabharata. Like see, the important question that they might ask is how long is the Himalayas and how many ranges are there in the middle Himalayas. These two are a few important questions. That's why I'm like noting these down. Okay, not a paid like this no need. The Shivalik range. The Shivalik Himalayas is formed in the last stage of formation of Himalayas. It comprises the outermost stage of the Himalayas and is known as Outer Himalayas. It has a hog back like appearance due to steep northern slope. This range runs parallel to the Lesser Himalayas for a distance of about 2400 kilometers from the Potwa Plateau to Brahmaputra Valley. The weight of Shivaliks varies from 50 kilometers in Himachal Pradesh to less than 15 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. It is almost an unbroken succession of low hills, except a gap of 80 to 90 kilometers, which is occupied by the valley of Tista Valley River. The altitude of Shivaliks varies from 600 to 1500 meters. And now the Indo-Gangetic Plain. Like Indo-Gangetic Plain comes under the plains, okay? They're like the Indo-Gangetic Plains are like they are nearby to the Himalayas, where usually earlier a lot of tribal people used to live there, but these days tribals don't live there. Okay. Now the Indo-Gangetic Plain lies the western part, the central part, and the eastern part. Well, I guess that you guys should these yourself because like these are not so important, but you guys should still remember it by chance if in school they'll ask this question. And now the Peninsular Plateau. The Indian Plateau is also known as the Peninsular Plateau as it is surrounded by the sea on the three sides. It's mainly composed of old crystalline, hard interiors and metamorphic rock. Large amounts of metallic and non-metallic minerals are found in the Indian Plateau. So like inside of the Peninsular Plateau you can find in like large amount of minerals like gold and others and even metals. Uh, the Deccan Plateau. Let's go on. They might ask a few diagrams also, in which like they'll ask draw from Peninsular Plateau. The next comes Eastern and Western Ghats, Peninsular Plateau, and like they'll ask you to point a dot where the Thar Desert is supposed to be located. Now let's go on to Thar Desert. The Thar Desert is located on the leeward side of Valleys receives very little rainfall ranging from 100 to 150 millimeters per year. The desert consists of an undulating sandy plain and rocky outcrops. It occupies much of the western Rajasthan. It has arid climate with low vegetation cover. Streams appear during rainy season and disappear soon after. Luni is the only river in the area. These intervals drain, drainage rivers fill into the lake and do not reach the sea. Now here they might ask you a important question, which is which river goes through the Thar Desert. Here like the most important river in the Thar Desert is the Luni River. Okay. Now let's go on with the next one. The Central Plains. The Central Plains, the southern part of the Peninsular Plateau is bordered by narrow coastal strips along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal in the east. The western coast starts from Rann of Kutch and ends at Kanyakumari. It is narrower than the east coast. This plain is uneven and broken by hilly terrain. It can be divided into three parts: Konkan Coast, Kano, Kanaiga Coast, Malabar Coast. Now, coastal plains also is a bit easy to remember, so yes, you can remember it by yourself. Now, the islands. There are like two group of islands, which is the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and yes, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which are in Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep Islands in Arabian Sea. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, like they have they are made out of submerged mountain parts, and now like these are the important ones. If they'll ask you a question on like write the important relief features on India and discuss about them, then you need to write about these features names and you should write all the what's it called? You need to write all the possibilities like whatever is there in the book about those features. Okay.